SuperBeard here with TGN Networks, and I'm here with the one, the only Ming Chen of Comic Book Men fame. Of course, we interviewed back in December. Thank you so much for doing that for us.
Of course.
Kel sent his regard, by the way. He's unfortunately a little under the weather, couldn't be here, but
it's Comicpalooza, man.
Yeah,
take your iPhone, get over here.
It has just been phenomenal. As you were talking about, this is one of your favorite cons to do.
It really is. Yeah.
What has been this year has kind of stood out from the rest?
I'm part of the podcast program here, which I love podcasting. My life is podcasting, and they have elevated it this year. Newer stage, multiple stages, and I'm doing 5 podcasts throughout the weekend, and I love it. I've done panels. Panels are fun. I've moderated panels. Those are fun. But something about the live podcast, man, it's really cool, and to have an audience watch it, they're pretty amazing. And yeah, that and all my usual friends come out. Like we have like a Jersey crew that loves Comicpalooza. They love Houston, so they come out. But I got a friend out from Albuquerque. I've been friends for a long time. And I'm like, dude, you would love this convention. It's so much fun here. And he finally came out, and he's been here a little less than 24 hours. He's in. He'll be here every year. It's awesome.
So as Ginger, who's behind the camera here, this is his first ever convention like this.
Wow.
He's done wrestling conventions, but he's never seen something like this. So I kind of brought him to. I kind of threw him in the deep end. But for anybody else who has yet to make that leap, to go to a convention, what do you kind of suggest? Should they go with friends? Should they try to experience it all? What do you think?
I always bring friends. I like to experience fun things with other people. That way, share the experience. You can divide and conquer. More hands to carry stuff. I think it's just more fun. Usually, I'll go with friends with similar interests, so we'll go hit the same things or shop for the same things. And if you need to split up for a little bit, it's like, hey, I'll meet you back here in 30 minutes or whatever. But yeah, it's fun to have other people for sure.
Awesome. And so of course you're part of the you have the shared universe.
Dude, marketing right there, 101. Show the
Shared Universe podcast studio. Yes. So make sure you guys go check that out. Of course, there's Comic Book Men.
Yep.
All kinds of other stuff. Make sure you check out Ming Chen whenever you can.
Thank you.
New York Comic Con this year, I'm definitely going to be hitting you up.
Okay.
Well, we're going to see you there.
Oh, man, we're going to be like crazy convo during another interview.
Yes.
Well, may we get all the exclusives, win all the lotteries.
Yes, we're going to do it all.
Yeah, literally everything. New York is insane. It's awesome.
It's always fun.
And I can drive there, which is cool,
That is true, too. So, Ming, thank you so much. I appreciate it, as always.
SuperBeard for life.
SuperBeard Vince Hoover with the TGN Networks here, and I'm here with George, the creator of Game of Ham. Now, as you can see from the sign, imagine Cards Against Humanity meets Sorry, cranked a bit darker. So let's dive a little bit further into that. Can you explain your game so people can understand?
Well, the goal of the game is to improve the mechanics and the replayability of that kind of game in a number of ways. And we do it a few ways. So I'll actually start with how we improve Cards Against Humanity in that kind of game in a number of ways. The first thing we did is we made it so the grammar of all the questions and answer cards go together. It's going to be hard to see that on the camera, but you can kind of see it up there. So every pink card will grammatically flow with every gray card. So things like, why won't mommy stop crying? What did the porn start with? Any of the prompts in this game, they're always going to work grammatically, which means you won't be stuck with those dead cards in your hand. You can't play anywhere because they work everywhere. Plus, it's just annoying.
Yes.
We also added little descriptions, which I guess we'll point to that right there. We call that the juice of the pork. We call it the flavor text because it gives it that extra kick. It's also a description. So some people want to explain to grandma what bukkake is, and we don't want to deprive them, which is why we made it tiny enough that a lot of people won't notice unless it's pointed out to them.
Got it.
We also added a new type of card that gets way more personal. It's our spin on the write-in cards. When you had that blank card, you had to come up with a prompt, but no one's creative, so you kind of throw those away. We fixed that by adding a write-in where basically you have a prompt and you just insert a word here with suggestions so you're not lazy. Stuff like, for example, what's your name?
Bo.
Bo? Well, blank can always cheer up Bo. And now you can throw any pink card there. And it turns into a way more personal experience with suggestions if you don't want to be creative. And that's the improvement on Cards Against Humanity and games like it. This spirals into a board game with ability cards and a whole lot more. Want me to dive right into it?
Go right into it.
So this game starts the same way Cards Against Humanity does, with questions and answers. When you win the question cards, there's numbers at the bottom. Those numbers are what push you across the board. You start at the white spot here, you finish at the goal spot here. The board is double-sided and can be mixed and matched however you like, as long as it connects. It's fair game and a different experience every time if you want it to be. As you land on these different spots, that's where you start picking up different abilities. Things like swap the answer cards in your hand, play twice in a round, force the judge to pick a card, or if you want to be a dick to the nicest person in your life, make them sit out because Why not?
There's also play that against you, just so you know.
There's tons of optional rules too, including the popular ones, which are the drinking, smoking, punishing your friends, which, if you play with folks who don't do that stuff, we got you covered too, because you can make them do lemon shots so they get hydrated while you get fucked up. But if that's not your cup of tea, to give you an idea of just how much is going on here, this here is our rule book. It is 24 pages, 5 different game modes, over 50 optional mixed match rules, and a crap ton more. It is the scariest rule book you've ever seen for a party game. I guarantee it, hands down. Which is why we packed this in every box. We get it. 1 page, 5 minutes, you're good to go. And if this is still too much for you, there's a 5-minute video too, so you don't even need the quick start guide to get going. You can make your friends watch the video instead of teaching them, which is a nice thing when you got a board game that goes to 16 players. If you know games, you know why that number's nice. Typically they're 4 to 5, they all tap out at 8. After that, you're in card game and RPG territory until now, because we double tap. And the last selling point, and this is one the viewers won't be able to know, but you could experience, is simply the weight of it itself. I could tell you it's heavy, and you'll still be surprised with that.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And you flip it around, you will understand why.
Come here, no.
That thing's going to do more damage than any plastic sword could at a fraction of the cost. That's 810 cards, a board game, and a crap ton more. If you flip it around, you will see what's inside. That right there. It does catch you off guard a little bit.
I can't hold that with one hand.
And another really cool thing we do about this game that goes different from other games in the genre, in Cards Against Humanity and games like it, you buy the game, you get something like Big Black Dick. You get the expansion, Bigger, Blacker Dick. We don't do that here. You felt this thing, you know why you don't need expansion in this game, you don't. But we also like to give new experiences. And for us, our approach is more, rather than give you more cards, which is the same, we give you different flavors. We call them seasonings. Okay. And that's what our expansions are. And I can talk about those too if you want to learn.
Yeah, let's go into the expansions.
Sure. So we take a different approach. Like I said, in Cards Against Humanity, can you still hear me okay with the microphone? Okay. So, Cards Against Humanity, you get the game Big Black Dick, you get the expansion Bigger Black Dick. We don't do that here. We give you different flavors. Stuff like rose-colored glasses. You guys know Hallmark Lifetime?
Yeah.
Every goddamn Christmas movie, no real villain, same plot every time. That's what we're packing here with stuff like a Rescue Puppies Love, which sounds lame until you throw it to a card like What Could O.J. Simpson Always Masturbate To? You see where we're going with this. Don't get me wrong. You could be genuine if you want to, but you could do it any way you want. Yeah, exactly. Who wants to
be genuine in this?
And then we got a more serious expansion, which is Into the Heart of Emotions. As the name suggests, every card captures strong emotion. Stuff like rivers made from the tears of unheard pain. Super dramatic, a little poetic, maybe a little angsty, but that's just one of a spectrum of emotion. And we got 2 of these bad boys because there are a lot of ways to say I love you. It can be sweet like a breakfast in bed. It could also be sour like a black eye. And I'm giving you boring cards to get the idea across. It gets weird, abstract, and a whole lot of gray area.
Okay.
And we got this here, which is our When in Doubt, Whip It Out boy. It's essentially Cards Against Humanity for 3 to 4 players. We just don't call that a game, so it's a standalone expansion. And we're going to be going forward with new expansions as well. We're going to have a few more coming out. One being pop relevant as fuck, which is our fun twist on how pop culture gets dated. Yep, that'll kill you literally or emotionally. And the Depression Pack, which is probably going to be one of our best sellers.
Most likely, yes. Especially in today's day and age.
Yes, actually, whenever we mention these new ones, people always get excited for that one.
Yeah.
A little bit sad, but
yeah.
If you don't laugh, you cry.
Me.
You know? So that's kind of what we got going here. Oh, and of course, one of the best things, which is the name itself, which is actually a play on words. It is the game of hating all mankind.
Oh, get a nice close-up of that.
We go ham here. But here, ham stands for something different. It's all about reading the fine print at the bottom of these cards, because we call it a description, but it's actually more of a hot sauce, we'll call it.
Hot sauce. I like that. I like that a lot. So, if you're not here at Comicpalooza, where can they get this game?
You can get it on our website, gameofham.com. I mean, we got a QR code here, too, if that's helpful.
Actually,
right there.
If we can get a nice shot of that, people should be able to get that off their screen. All right. I'm going to take that.
Yeah, you could have this too. We got a matching pair.
Awesome. And now, of course, I'm not leaving without the game, so I'm going to buy the game.
Sure.
What is something you would recommend, like, for like everybody's first time? Because we're going to play it tonight. We're going to have a bunch of people. We're definitely going to play it tonight. Should we start with just start basic and then move up?
So if you're going to have drinks involved, play with the board game the first time sober.
Okay.
But if you are good, we've only met one guy who could play drunk already with the board game. So give it a shot.
Yeah, that's a good question. But if you're never sober,
just play with the cards the first time. Just play with the cards.
So we do have the option. You can play just cards, or you can add the board game as well.
Yes.
So there's all kinds of different fun things.
Give it a shot. The board game is one of the fun things.
That to me, you just
and it is
board
pretty
game adds a level.
I mean, like I said, you can get started with this, and there's a video which on this card here. The other one, well, actually, you could go right there too.
Okay.
In the playlist section, there's a really great 5-minute video from a third-party guy who did a fantastic job explaining it.
Okay, cool.
So you got that gets you going. So try it with the board if you want, but from what I've heard, don't play drunk with the board the first time.
Got it. Fantastic. Well, George, thank you so much. This game, I feel is going to be much bigger than we even expect. This looks like a ton of fun. I can't wait to do a review ourselves on our channel. And like I said, we're going to play it tonight. We'll probably play just cards tonight to start.
Yes, I would recommend that if drinks are involved. But
yeah.
if you do want to play with getting a little bit more out there, we got 2 pages of drinker rules you could throw into at the very end of the book. Starts here, goes here, and if you're looking for a cross-faded evening, we're 420 friendly right there.
There you go, 420 friendly. This game is just for you, Bo.
Sure.
Awesome. Well, George, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I'm going to get my game right now.
Sure.
Guys, SuperBeard with TGN Networks is here, and I'm with Rumpelstiltseam. Oh my God, I got it! Yes! Now,
I'm impressed. People usually struggle with that.
I have been working on it for 2 days. I promise you, I saw you on the thing, and I'm like, I got to get her name right. I got it. In the moment, I'm clutch. Anyways, first off, how are you enjoying Houston and Comicpalooza? And is this your first one here, or have you done it
Actually,
before?
no. So I'm a native Houstonian and Comicpalooza attendee.
Okay.
This is actually, I believe, my 7th or 8th year at Comicpalooza, but first time guesting.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's been great so far. Yesterday was chill, which is fine, because it was a half day. And today it looks like we're off to a great start. There's a lot of people here. Everyone's vibing.
Raring to go.
Yeah, raring to go.
I am so old.
Yeah.
So what got you into cosplay? Like, what was it that really like nailed that where you're like, I want to do this?
Such a fun story. Vacation Bible School.
Okay, please elaborate.
I was helping.
We're not going anywhere now.
I was volunteering at a Vacation Bible School, and it was video game themed, aka Nintendo themed. And they were like, y'all can dress up. And I was like, cool. So I went to Goodwill, and I found this really awful, like, pink 80s prom dress. I don't know why it existed and why it was at Goodwill, but it was serendipitous that it did. Big poofy sleeves. I was like, bet. Found a cheap brooch that was green. I was like, bet. But the wig I struggled with, and I had to go to Party City, and the only wig I could find that was kind of blonde was a Dolly Parton wig.
Okay.
And I had like super cheap little like Snow White tiara, and I made it work. It was so ratchet, but like,
hey, you made it work.
And so when I did that, it was the interaction with like other people not dressed up and like the interaction with kids. I was like, I kind of like this. And so since I had already been sewing things, I've been sewing since I was 14. I was taught by my grandmother. I was like, I can make things, so why don't I try making costumes? And it kind of just snowballed from there.
And how long, like, obviously every costume is going to be different and some are more elaborate than others, but what would you say you normally spend on a costume?
So also, fun story, that actually correlates to my name. I make things incredibly fast, apparently. Usually, like, this was a month.
Okay.
Actually, a couple of weeks, because I did, like, buy the belts. But for the most part, unless it's a really big build like the one behind me, usually like a month or two. 2 weeks to a month. And that's actually how I got my name. I was trying to find a social media handle, and a friend was like, dang, you spin out costumes like Rumpelstiltskin spins gold. And I was like, I'm stealing that. And so that's how I got my name. And that's, generally speaking, though, in a direct answer, cosplay, just depending on who's making it and what they're comfortable with and like build speed, it can be anywhere from a month, 6 months, a year. It also depends on the size of the project. Yeah. So it varies.
So now I'm going to ask you the hard question.
All right.
What is your favorite cosplay you've done so far?
That's not a hard question. It's Ciri from The Witcher 3. Like,
every other cosplay I asked, they're like, oh, I can't pick just one.
I can show you. It's Miss Ciri.
So this is the one that actually turned me on to you. I saw it on your social media, and I'm like, yep, she's killed it.
Yeah, she kills it. I made that, and I wore her for 8 years, and I literally wore her into the ground. She has fallen apart. I have to remake her because I love her that much.
Do you have any like weird interactions with fan stories? Because that is something that is unfortunately prevalent also in the cosplay industry. It
is unfortunate. I've never personally had anybody interact with me, but I've had to stop interactions with other people. So, yeah, just to reiterate, as you'll see the sign hanging around, cosplay is not consent.
Not consent.
Just because they're in a costume doesn't mean you can touch them.
So they are
a human.
It's like art to me. I'd be
exactly. Yeah. It is art.
One example.
And fine art at that.
One example, I was at Big Texas Comic-Con last year, and I was wearing Zatanna, the one right there. And I'm in platforms, so like 6-inch heels. So I'm sitting down. You can't tell my height. Deadpool's sitting in front of me. I don't know this man, okay? He's sitting there. He's trying to eat. And this guy walks up and is like, cool God. And I'm like, picks up his prop off of him, out of his holster. I was like, excuse me, sir, cosplay is not consent. What are you doing? Did you ask? And he's like, oh, I was like, put it back. Put it back. And he started to try to get defensive and like aggressive, and I was like, no, you don't understand. And I stood up and I'm like towering over him, like, put it back. So yeah.
Unfortunately for Deadpool cosplayers, unfortunately, because that TikTok that went random where people were pulling the gun.
Yeah.
And now everybody, it's not consent, people.
No.
Don't do it.
He was telling me that. He's like, thank you for that, because people have been doing that to me all weekend, and it's horrible.
Well,
yeah.
Thank you so much. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media and everything else.
So you can find me, especially on Twitter and Instagram, at Rumpelstiltseam. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one on both. If you're going to come here today, I'm on aisle 3100. I'm over here by the popcorn booth. Just follow your nose. But I hope to see everybody here. It's going to be great. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.